Do you know what episode number this is?
I don't fucking know.
It's episode 70 because we didn't make a big deal about episode 69 because we're not fifth graders. We're sixth graders and we're playing card games on the playground. All right, welcome and hello to Pit Against, a live Flesh and Blood call-in show. I'm William Table Legs. I'm joined by my constant host, Kevin Smurph Murphy. Kevin, what were you about to say?
Please tell me the entire bit of that is going to be the intro, and you're gonna start it. Okay, cool, excellent, perfect.
Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you want to be live on air talking to us about your hot, mid, or cold take, you can attempt to do that by putting a comment in the call-in topics text channel and joining us in the waiting room. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Kevin, how have you been?
I'm good. I'm excited to get going on whatever this next meta is.
True.
Somewhat ish. Prism's sad.
Yeah.
But
they came out with new
no,
brutes and they're gonna wreck the entire format.
What? No, they came out with one brute a year and a half ago who has insane text on his hero ability.
He's been good the entire time.
No, but yes, and now he has a bunch more 2-for-8s.
Well,
yes, but actually no.
Actually, no. Is there anything you want to talk about before we get started with anything?
Nothing like super quick, if that's what you mean.
I guess the other point was like, is there any? So starting the show off, is there any cards from the new set? We've seen some cards. We've seen the whole set now. Is there any cards that you wanted to talk about? About the new set? Any revealed cards? Any generics that block 3?
Oh, do you mean the frickin' generic 8 popper? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. The rare red
Look
only,
tough.
Red only rare 8 power attack. Actually, all of them are like pretty good, but the line of tough, buff, and gruff or whatever it is.
Puff.
It
is buff, puff, and tough.
I know tough's the 8 power one, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
No, you should just play Battlefront Bastion. If you actually want a generic popper that's not a 6, just play Battlefront Bastion. It is legitimately better and more annoying.
So good.
It's
fact that it covers
really
3 points
freaking annoying.
Yeah.
Now, do you need poppers in this next format? I don't know.
Yeah,
genuinely,
it's very interesting. One of the questions was on my list of things to talk about was meta ? She asked you, but in the pre-show we determined that's not a conversation yet, not a full one.
I don't think it. There's a lot to figure out with this one. I think it's like people have a baseline. They have a day 1, which is really a day -8 of KO from heavy hitters. KO Armed and Dangerous. You got a bunch of new go again stuff. The sash turns look really gross. He got some more 2-for-8s. Reckless Stampede is a crazy card. Yada yada yada. This is kind of all face up in public stuff as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
People are pretty aware of this. And KO's kind of become the baseline, especially after the gravy hits and the slippy hits. Like KO, and they just like coincided time-wise, but there's still a decent amount to figure out because KO had issues back in heavy hitters meta, pre-Enigma. But we'll have to see like what happens, because like Kasai was like one of his weaker matchups, and Dory was one of his weaker matchups. But Hatchet Dory and Dawnblade Dory, but like both of the Dories in different game plans like had good KO matchups. So like there might be like some weird like triangle or square or the pentagon or whatever at the top of the meta, but KO has kind of gotten the attention of people in this pre-release meta that we're talking about. Like this is how young this meta is.
It's 2025. Flesh and Blood, like everything else, is just like
thank you, Talishar.
Speculative, right out the gate. As soon as you know anything, people were guessing on the meta when cards were getting revealed this last weekend. Like, it's just how it goes. We don't know enough yet, but
this is what happened Yeah, this is what happened with Needle Ira. Is as soon as we
Yes.
had up sticks and all of those cards revealed, and then they banned needles. I
Yeah,
don't think
where
that's going
would
to happen with KO. It's not the same degree, and it's yeah. Um,
where would we be right now if
I
they
think Clark
didn't ban?
exactly. Clark and I said it at the same time. I'm pretty sure. Um,
That's funny.
but
I mean, where would we be
yeah,
if Talk a Big Game was like not pre-banned?
oh no, it's gross. This
Yeah,
isn't even
right.
close.
It's
We
so
saw in
funny.
limited, we saw 20 damage turns with triple intimidate. Like we saw why they banned Talk a Big
It's
Game,
like,
and like it is bully
yeah,
tactics plus any number of the because it's really the way suspense auras worked with each other, and I think Pleiades actually might have been one of the better users just because she gets to control the suspense auras better. But like
yeah,
then Reviled also gets to like, or Lyeth in particular gets to offset like suspense into might on the next turn
mm,
into Talk a Big Game. You could get some really gross turns there. Like, there should be no surprise as to why this card was banned. At blue, block 3, go again.
yes. That's already a pretty high base.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That is a very reasonable floor if you can get 2 or 3 value out of it. And you're probably able to get 10 out of it pretty reasonably.
Yeah.
So
yeah, turns out pretty good. And so that's why they do the ban early. And
yep.
but people are going to speculate
They were
anyways to what
correct.
the meta are, just like they did with
Yeah.
Ira. I guess, do we want to bring in our first caller?
Sure, I'll go grab them and see what they got.
Heck yeah. I am going to talk to you guys for a second. Listen, it's just me and you. Kevin's not here. Come on the show. Give us your hot takes. Your Flesh and Blood players. I know you're filled with them. Give us your hot takes. Tell us your opinions. Give it to us. Kevin's got one. We're really excited about Kevin's hot take. He's got a crazy one. But we're going to get into our first caller first. Maybe get into that one. Hopefully get into another if y'all have some hot takes. But if you have any hot takes, there's a link in the description to a Discord channel where there's a text channel. You can put your take in, or you can put it in chat and I bring it up. Or you can put it in the comments and I bring it up later. But if you put it in the Call-In Topics text channel and then join the Waiting Room channel, we'll be able to drag you on air and talk to you very specifically about your hot take. I know that Clark is itching to do it. Also, I got 381 points. Also, did the name of the stream not change? I didn't check that. Yes, okay. The name of the stream did change. Okay. But it looks like...
Hang on.
Oh. It looks like we don't have a caller. Not yet. But the caller could be you. So call in. Or leave us a comment. You can leave us a comment on anything if you're listening to this later. You can leave us a comment on any platform about your opinion on something in Flesh and Blood. I will bring it up. I will bring it up because you said so. It will be said. Kevin's doing some troubleshooting. And this is fine. We played some... If you don't watch the pre-show, there's a pre-show that I do for about an hour before the show where we're talking to people. We're building the list of things we're going to talk about on the show. And there's also... I tried to do something fun, and I was playing Clout Chase, and I got 381 points, and that was awesome. And Kevin's here, and he has a guest. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi there. My name's Marina. I'm down in Dallas, Texas. How's it going?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
What would you like to talk about on the show?
So, I've since I joined Flesh and Blood, I started playing in Outsiders. I am super into draft format. I really like it. It's really fun for me. And then a set came out called, what was it? Dusk Till Dawn. And I'm like, what is this? And my friends are like, oh, you can't draft this one. Sorry. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And ever since then, I've been sus. And then LSS was like, oh, we're not going to do those anymore because people don't like those for some reason. So we haven't seen okay, going back in time, our first supplemental set, Crucible of War, came out after Arcane Rising, and they called it a supplementary booster set, non-draftable. I think that's when they introduced Azalea, maybe? I don't know. Moving on, we have Everfest?
Yes.
Everfest was the next one.
Everfest. They also called that one a supplementary booster set. Moving forward, we have Dynasty.
Yes.
What's interesting is they called this one an expansion booster set.
I think
Dusk Till Dawn
for that one was mostly changed. I think they only changed the name of that one for like more of like an aesthetic reason. Mostly,
Yes, I agree. I will say a lot of the wording and like phrases used on some of the 2018 through 2021 articles are a little bit different compared to what we're seeing now. Dusk Till Dawn was also called an expansion booster set. And then in between all that, we had the history pack stuff, which was loved by some, hated by some. Everyone likes to make fun of it, and everyone likes to use those cards. So yippee. So now recently we're seeing these archive packs, and now moving forward we're going to start seeing stuff like Guardian Mastery Pack, Ranger, whatever, blah blah blah. Super Slam, in my opinion, is an anomaly because it is not an expansion set, and they're marketing it as they would a normal set. Like, oh yeah, look at all these cool new heroes and stuff. What makes it an anomaly is if you look at the draft format, there's only one draft event, which was World Premiere. There will not be a high-tier draft event like there normally is for like sometimes at like Pro Tours, National Championships, that kind of thing. No, we only had one shot to draft Super Slam at the highest levels, and that opportunity is gone. And I think the reasoning for this is because it's not meant to be a draftable set. And if you look at the breakdown of how the draft pods went, especially on like day 2, it looks kind of wacky. Like if you go back and look at the streams from Montreal, like the first draft pod had a shitload of KOs, and then it had one Guardian in that whole draft pod, one Guardian. And then the next draft pod, still a shitload of Brutes. That I think people were like, oh my god, Tough Nut's so good. So everyone jumped on the Tough Nut train. Only 2 Guardians, and they were both Pleiades, I think?
Yes.
So I don't know if that's just how those particular pods went, but there's a couple of different things that point me in the direction of this is maybe not so much meant to be a super well-tuned draft set, so much as it is an opportunity for players to pick up those cards that they currently didn't have access to. And like they've very clearly marketed, hey, look at all these cards we're reprinting. Look at all these cards we're bringing back. Look at all these very helpful new cards for all the newer heroes. So in my brain, I'm seeing it as a quote expansion unquote set that also introduces new heroes. And it's not really a draftable set. And I'm personally okay with that. And I think it's because LSS doesn't want the optics of having to walk back on something that they tried to make a sort of big deal about, saying, oh, we'll never make another expansion set ever again. And so far they've kept to that by keeping the non-draftable sets they do release limited to like with the Guardian Mastery Pack, that's not a draftable set. However, it's incredibly helpful. Sorry, I was like going on for a while,
No,
but I just find this sort of thing incredibly interesting to think about.
No, we appreciate the energy. So this is the part where we're just going to break it down a little bit. I am going to start with my first thing, which is Brian Gottlieb in the way that he delivers any amount of words is never straightforward with anything or committal in his sentences. And he has definitely said that expansion or supplemental sets would be a lever they would use if they ever needed it, or whatever fancy words he wanted to use. I think generally LSS don't want to ever do it. And I think even if they did want to do it, they probably don't do it in the same way they'd previously done it. But I think Brian has already previously walked back the idea and said, it's something we could do. Not that they would never do it again.
Yeah. I just wonder if this is maybe them trying out a way to like get around that promise, because like I'm fine with it, how they're handling this. I'm fine with them using this as a way to get more reprints and get more expansion cards into,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt one more time and then let Kevin talk. In chat, Draconic Ash was like, as someone who was at the premiere, in my opinion, the reason there aren't any limited events is because the environment sucks so much, especially coming off of High Seas.
Yeah. I can see that. One of the points that Marina had, they did not particularly balanced. We did only have 1 day of drafts, and it was the first time people had ever drafted this set, and they had 2 days of sealed to prep for this draft set. It was 1 Guardian in the first pod, 2 Guardians in the second, and 2 Guardians in the third for the draft pods that we saw. Mm-hmm. It was rough. It was worse than Monarch had ever been. It was as bad as Heavy Hitters, because Heavy Hitters also looked like that on first release. Heavy Hitters didn't look like that in the long run, but on World Premiere Weekend, it looked like that. But also, World Premiere Weekend does typically look like that. But I think there were some weird balancing issues that happened, where I agree that this is probably not the best limited set that they've had, and it probably coincides a little bit with them wanting to push Living Legend.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a weird parallel that's kind of like lining up of them wanting to push Living Legend and this being one of their weaker limited sets, and kind of taking their foot off the gas on limited a little bit, because it is something they've pushed very hard before. They've really pushed like Hunted Limited and High Seas Limited and Rosetta Limited, like the last like 3 sets in particular before this one. Very emphatic that these are good sets. I think High Seas was like the peak of what a lot of the devs like talked about this being like the peak of limited as they had played it so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're just like kind of like, this set was a little weird. There's some stuff they wanted to introduce with Revered and Reviled, with these Brutes and Guardians, and it didn't really work in limited, especially like there's no weapons, but we have a weapon for Pleiades. Like, so where's the Reviled Guardian weapon? Where's the Reviled Brute weapon? Where's the Revered Brute weapon? And just like the balancing got really tough, because like we saw balancing issues in Heavy Hitters. Like when you had a solo KO pod, it was nuts.
Yeah. And
having a 3 KO pod was balanced, which isn't like what they want. They want something closer to if there's 4 heroes, a 2-2-2-2.
Yeah.
But this isn't it. And it feels like it coincides a little bit. And it's just like, it is that middle ground kind of between a Rosetta and a, what is it? A Dusk Till Dawn, which was not a draftable set. Mm-hmm. But when people saw it, they were like, this started out as a draft set. And then there's just no attack actions for Light Illusionist. And Light Warrior just looks very meh. But then the Shadow Heroes look weird and we don't know what's going on. It's like, which it wasn't, but this is not one of their better limited sets. And I think they know that. And I think it coincides with them wanting to push Living Legend a little bit to be emphasized a bit more, where I don't know if this is quite like expansion set in terms of Dusk Till Dawn, Dynasty, Everfest, Crucible, but it's definitely not High Seas, and I think they know that. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on the LL thing, especially given that James White has like made it clear he intends for multiple heroes to LL this year. Because I remember in one of his talks he mentioned, and like he anticipated 8+ heroes would LL in 2025, and we're seeing that happen in real time. So yeah, it makes sense they want LL to be more popular than it is. Because yeah, there's going to be a lot more heroes that are just stuck in that format.
Mm-hmm. We've already had 6 that have LL'd this year.
What other 2 heroes is James White condemning to slaughter?
I mean, it's Kano and KO.
True.
Are the 2 on the chopping block. But we had all 3 Mystic Heroes, Azalea, Viserai, and Aurora.
Did all 3 Mystic go this year?
And Dash.
And Dash.
Oh.
Yeah, that's 7. We've already had 7, and it is not hard for either Kano or KO to go. So we might have 9.
That's crazy.
That go this year.
I think my perspective is
all 3 Mystic.
Did all 3 Mystic
Aurora,
go this year? I thought for some reason one of them went last year.
Azalea.
Yeah.
Yes. We had all 3 at London.
Oh.
I played against all 3 at London.
Oh my gosh. This year's so
So all 3 Mystic.
So much happened.
Azalea, Aurora, Viserai, Dash.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at 7 already, have LL'd this year. Which is because of the way Rosetta and Mistveil stacked LL points together. But yeah.
I have I don't know if it's a counterpoint. I guess to say a counterpoint would be to ask, is this a bad thing? Is this set a bad thing?
Can I talk about that?
Yeah. I'm asking you.
That's you.
Is this a bad set?
Oh no, I think it's a great set. I think it's incredibly helpful, and I think they haven't slapped you in the face trying to tell you exactly what it is, but they've made it quite clear that this is meant to help people and meant to get more cards out there and meant to introduce a fun new hero. Obviously Pleiades, I think obviously they put a
singular
bit more
fun new hero. They're only one of these 4 is fun.
Yeah.
Gravy is the only playable hero.
Listen, I have feelings about one of the heroes in particular, but I think that's just a personal problem, and I will get over it eventually.
Okay.
Anyways, that is a whole nother conversation.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's not really a counterpoint because you do like the set, but my statement is going to be for the limited set kind of sucking. I have pre-release tomorrow, and I am genuinely more excited for this pre-release than I was High Seas. I am amped for this pre-release. It is going to be so silly, so dumb. I could go 3-0. Yeah. I could go 0-3. I'm probably ending the night in the same mood. This is going to be a crazy release. Yeah. Because I don't think you can take it that seriously.
It's kind of a different beast. Yeah, sealed deck's a totally different beast compared to draft because in general you have more opportunities to be a bit more explosive, and you might see more one OTK situations,
especially
or bombs or whatever compared to draft. Yeah,
especially with 8-packs, right?
Yes.
So traditionally, when people think of Magic sealed versus draft is more powerful because you select every single card. But in Flesh and Blood, it almost feels like sealed is more powerful because you have 8-packs to rip through. So.
Yeah, I think it's why I appreciate Draft format and Flesh and Blood so much. It's my favorite format, hands down, no question. It's just the best. In my opinion, it's the best way to teach someone who has TCG experience how to play Flesh and Blood. If they have the TCG basics, just throw them in a draft pod because it's such a good way to test so many different skills all at once. Mm-hmm. Like card evaluation, deck building, how to make the most of your hero. It's great. Sealed deck for me, it's you show up, all your friends are there, you're making fun of each other the entire time, and then you go to Buffalo Wild Wings afterwards and get roaring drunk, and it's a great time.
I've definitely shown, I think it's 6 people I've brought to pre-releases specifically. It's hey, pre-releases next month. I want to get you into Flesh and Blood. I could just show you what an LL deck looks like, or I can just take you to this pre-release and you're going to have a blast.
Yep. I will say it's interesting hearing of this set for sealed versus draft because most sets get reviewed as draft is much better than sealed because you have agency, it's balanced for draft, all that stuff. And this is like the first set where it's been the opposite.
It's balanced for sealed.
Where out of world premiere,
yeah,
draft did not sound good, but sealed sounded actually pretty reasonable, which is very strange.
Do you think it's intentional,
for Flesh
or do
and
you
Blood.
think that's just like, do you think that's like a design choice where they make it better for sealed, or is that just like how the set comes together?
I think it's mostly just the way stuff ended up working out.
Sure.
And I feel like they stumbled into it, and then they looked at the timelines, and they looked at LL. Like, this is another, like, oh, LL was going to be a focus, and they saw that this set just, like, worked really well in sealed and didn't really work in draft, and they just kind of, like, went with it.
This is us being
it wouldn't surprise
LSS
me.
simps again, and just assuming that when everything lines up perfectly, that it was like 5-head the entire time.
They saw it 2 years ago and made the choice explicitly.
They knew what heroes were going to LL win. They've stacked everything.
But this is genuinely one of the first formats that's draftable where I've heard that sealed is actually better than draft, which is very weird for Fab.
It's funny because I think I heard someone say that during heavy hitters. Like that was a rhetoric going around during heavy hitters.
Yes.
I will say sealed heavy hitters was very fun for me because, yeah. It's when I fell in love with my favorite hero in this whole entire game. Going back to the thing I don't want to talk about.
I liked drafting heavy hitters because I felt like I could play Victor, and in sealed I felt like I couldn't. Because in draft, if I like drafted for Victor, who else is doing that? No one's doing that. No one's going to do that. That was funny. I guess we've slowed down a bit. Is there anything else you want to talk about on this?
I think LSS made the correct decision in only having one draft high tier event with this. Like, I think they knew that it was going to be like this, and they very wisely, used this set as an opportunity to transition over to like promoting more LL events. Yeah. And then I also think like the previous like high seas, some of the expansion cards in there, and then this set, they're prepping for Monarch 3. That's just what I've noticed because that comes out next year. And I think they're going to push that and promote the out of that.
Thank you.
Because it's because like people love Levia so much. Like she needs help.
Yeah.
She's going to get help with Monarch 3 or something's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do, but people are going to be upset. So she's going to get help because it is what has been foreseen by literally everybody. So I think they're going to push Monarch and promote Monarch 3 real hard. And I think this specific set and maybe like some of the expansion cards we've seen in the past few sets are in prep for that. And I guess that's not really a hot take. That's just an observation I've made.
If we get Prism 3 before Dromite 2, I'm going to riot, is what Draconic Ash said.
Oh,
hey, look, I'm doing my best to get Prism 2 gone. All right?
Get him out. All right, here's my hot take, is that next year we're going to have Monarch 3, and for one night only, Levia on the stage, and she just comes out. Reviled Levia fighting Solana. We're getting Levia 2 before Levia 1's gone, just like with KO. That'd be so.
It's just Shadow
upsetting people. Shadow reviled brute. There we go. We've done it.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
There we go.
She could like give blood dead to people. That's reviled.
God, that would be
dope.
That would be.
There's a lot that needs to be figured out.
Oh yeah, there's so much. All right, thank you so much for the call. I also really appreciated how passionate you got about it. Is there anything else you want to shout out?
I'll shout out you guys because yeah, you very consistently do this stream, and I think people genuinely enjoy it. Like everyone loves a good yapper, you know? So it's kind of fun, and I think sometimes for some people it might even be comforting in a way to have something to turn to when they just need to feel like they're hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
This is so good job.
I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks.
Maybe. I don't know. We shall see.
Well, this was great. We appreciate it.
Bye?
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Leave. All right. Clark said dual talents have never been a problem in the history of Flesh and Blood. Yeah, the Emperor is a garbage card.
For sure.
Kevin, I have a hot take. My hot take is that you have a hot take. What's your hot take?
That's not a hot take that I have a hot take.
Oh, that's also
if this is referring to what I think it is.
Sure.
Yeah. So you're going to have Guardian players trying to build Pleiades and Wyatt, and they're going to do it poorly because these aren't Guardians. And you're going to have Brute players. It sure does. And you're going to have Brute players trying to build Tough Nut and AO Underhanded Cheat, and they're going to do it poorly because they're going to try and build it like Brute players.
They're going to read the bottom of the hero
And none of these
card.
heroes, they sure are, and they're going to be wrong.
Okay.
All of them.
They need to build them like Reviled and Revered?
That's not the worst. Both of the Reviled heroes are reviled.
True.
For sure. They fit that card pool. 100%.
Intimidate.
No, like they actually play that card pool.
Oh, no, yeah. That's a good point.
Yes.
That's a good point. They're actually playing the Reviled
Intimidate,
cards
all
in
the
deck.
boos, all that stuff. Yes. The revered heroes don't care about the revered cards.
Sure.
Actually, that much.
Sure.
They care about the revered class cards.
Okay.
And that's it.
Sure.
Revered Brute, revered Guardian.
Yes.
That's all they care about. Pleiades is either a mechanologist or an illusionist, depending on how you want to build her.
All right, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
No, go through all of them.
Tough Nut is a Guardian.
Yeah, okay. Well, everyone is already building
Tough Nut's a Guardian.
Tough Nut as a Guardian, right? They started with blue block 3s
Yes, but he's not a Brute.
Okay.
Yeah. They built Rock deck, whatever, but that's just bad Guardian. They're going to build a club deck, and it's going to be actually reasonable Guardian that has a hammer.
Club.
And then, no, Rock isn't going to work. It's not.
Well, club.
It's not going to be a deck.
Well, it's not a hammer.
Sure, whatever. It's a club. Close enough.
Pummelable weapon.
It's Titan's Fist. It's Titan Fist that makes a toughness token. That's just better
Titan's
than
Fist
Guardian. That's
makes a
Crown of
toughness
Seeds.
Token, and it's not coming in for 3 ever.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Turns out, costs 1 less.
Seems good. Who's the last one? KO Underhanded Cheat is bad Azuri. And that's saying something. Because Azuri's bad.
Is the set out officially? Is it out tomorrow? When is it out?
No, it's out next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay, so next Friday, Azuri becomes the worst assassin, probably.
Yes.
I think literally, this is not a tangent. I'm not going to go into this. I think Huntsman will be better than Azuri after the card comes out.
I believe that.
Yeah. And I know this in part because I have played against Huntsman every week for the last month because Bird is...
Jesus Christ,
he's back
Bird.
on his train. All right. So, anyways, freaking... Okay, Guardians are Brutes are Guardians and Guardians are Illusionists and... Okay, people build decks wrong. That's where you started.
So people are going to take their baseline understandings of the decks they play and take them into these classes because it's the same class that they've played for the last year or 2 or 3 or 4 and build a deck that is a Guardian because it says Guardian on the cards.
Yeah. And
these are not Guardians in the play patterns and the deck building ideas that we are used to. Okay. Pleiades does not play like a Guardian. She plays like a mechanologist or an illusionist, depending on how you want to build her.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can put the way I'm trying to build her pushes her slightly more illusionist, but like if you gave mechanologist players Pleiades, they would build better decks than Guardian players.
Oh.
And I don't think it's close.
That's interesting. Okay, so
And here's the reason I say this.
Sure, yeah.
Every goddamn Pleiades build that I've seen from a Guardian player has freaking Titan's Fist and Steel Braid Buckler.
They want to block. It's like the best thing about them is they have the best equipment suite, other than like
about the old Guardians.
Pleiades has different strengths.
Yes. She gets to manipulate all of these auras and actually utilize them in a way that other Guardians cannot. In a way that Lyeth cannot. Lyeth is just an aggro deck. He's a Runeblade. But
we'll get into it. What's one hero at a time.
Yeah. No, Pleiades, you want to sit on these 2 cards that make everything cost 2 less every turn, and you're just a value machine.
And you can tap her to manipulate the steam counters on your items so that you can keep some around longer and have some trigger early and
bingo. There it is.
Are they also going to do 100 actions on their turn? They're going to shuffle around. They're going to touch 100 cards and they have 1,000,000 actions.
Pleiades doesn't want to block. She wants to bonk.
She wants to bonk.
No, she wants to bonk.
Big bonk energy.
Yeah. No, I've been working on Pleiades, and you put up numbers that are like, I've attacked for 26 with a Spinal Crush. And you want to know why? I built her like an illusionist.
That's disgusting.
You want to know what the most underrated card in that deck is? It's Thespian Charm. The one that just bounces an aura. Yeah, it just bounces an aura to your hand. You know what all those pump auras say?
What? Oh, whenever they leave the battlefield.
When this leaves the arena.
So Thespian Charm just says replace this card with the best aura you have.
With an aura. Yes.
Oh
which
my gosh.
Can just be the +6. Palm of your hand +3 Pleiades Charms, draw 7. Yeah. You just have Tome of Divinity. Probably. I haven't checked the math on it, but it's pretty goddamn close.
What the frick?
You can do insane, like, it's just... No, I took it and I threw it away. I threw it. I threw it because I think the guitar weapon is actually bait.
Okay. We'll not get into that. So this is how...
Yeah.
So Pleiades is a mechanologist.
No, it's...
You should view Pleiades deck building like a mechanologist.
First and foremost, a mechanologist.
Yeah.
Yes, where you are manipulating permanents and you're trying to, like, put the counters in certain places and have them activate at certain times. Like, it's... She is closer to a mechanologist as we understand, as we think of mechanologists.
Yeah.
Than she is to guardians, as we think of guardians.
Yes. And that's kind of what we've been hearing about Lyeth in Draft Sealed, where Lyeth is not blocking.
Yes.
Lyeth is punching.
No, he's just setting up a turn that is 20 damage with double or triple intimidate.
Is he doing that in CC?
Okay.
Okay. He just has like 2 or 3 turns. And
he just gets to run all the cards. Yeah, he just has a weapon.
Oh, true.
To put all the buffs on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, that totally works.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And another reason that Anothos is really good in Pleiades is because you can just put all the buffs on it, and you don't care if you draw the attack as much. It's just 6. You swing the hammer, you play your aura, pitching the other blue, and suddenly it's at 6, and you just don't lose value.
That's sick.
Helm of Eisen's Peak is Li's best friend. I believe that. Or best headpiece. Yeah, I believe that. You play your Suspense Aura, you crack Helm of Eisen's Peak on that turn, you go into Arsenal plus 6 Intellect, and you set up triple Suspense. And then you attack the turn or like triple like Might buff or like whatever.
It's just a combo deck. Yeah, board state combo deck, yeah.
Items and gadgets, bases pack. Okay, I'm pretty sure guitar players have more than bass players, but sure. Yes, I understand your point.
When I played bass, I had...
That sounds like you're a bass player.
I had 2 pedals. And then the guitars would have like a
that sounds about right.
of like 40 or something like that, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. The brutes are not brutes. We've mentioned the Guardians
now. Yes. So Underhanded Cheat is an assassin.
Just plays at reaction speed.
Yeah.
Might have disruption.
Yep. Buffs it to 6, has the buffs on it to he's an assassin. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a big surprise to people as soon as you say that. It's like, I played the blue Isolate.
Well, it's like
flip into a 6.
So brutes, like,
okay,
most of their class identity is in the fact that they're just everything is high value. Assassins are in everything they do is to minimize their opponent's value.
They are on rate and about minimizing their value, the opponent's value.
Yeah. So I assume it's a little different.
It's like a little different, but they're not brute. KO's not a brute. He's reviled. That's it. These are both fundamentally reviled heroes. I don't think either of the revered heroes are going to run the revered only talent cards.
Yeah.
In any significant number. But I think the reviled heroes are going to run a lot of reviled talent only cards.
That's interesting. I think it sounds like it could matter for something like maybe Blitz, but like as it did in Limited, but I feel like that's harder when you translate to 40 health.
Yes. I mean, like your reliance on value in your entire deck just becomes more important at 40 health because it's just like if you miss 3 points of value, suddenly you're missing it 3 times instead of 2 times. But also that means you're missing it 3 times instead of 1 time over the course of a game, probably.
Yeah.
Or you're significantly more likely to miss it 3 times than 2 times.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
And
then Lyeth is just a Runeblade. He has his series of pumps. He's playing Nimblism. He's playing Minnowism. He's playing Go Again, make 3 mites. He's playing the Aura that makes 3 mites and a Confidence on the next turn. So then it's 3 mites.
He's just playing all the smallest attacks in the world.
Yeah. He's Dwarf Tribal.
That's so... Who would have thought? It's like, we were all there, like, knowing that, like, 1, 2, and 3 power attacks are just, like, what is the most efficient to be playing in him. And then it turns out, that was right the whole time.
It sure does say frickin' Guardian at the bottom of his hero card.
It's so crazy. It says
They have absolutely pushed the boundary on what they can call a Guardian and a Brute in this set and what it means to be of a certain class in this set.
Yeah.
Like they've had like Draconic Ninja and it still feels like a ninja. Draconic Warrior still feels like a warrior because you're swinging your daggers twice a turn and you're triggering dynamos and you're just a dual wield warrior with Draconic cards. But like these Brutes are not Brutes and these Guardians are not Guardians. And like Ice Wizard still felt like a wizard, and I guess like Earth Wizard and Lightning Wizard didn't super feel like wizards as we understood it, but like they still just played like dumb arcane combo from Acilio and Striders for Verdance.
Yeah.
Like they still had the wizard cards. And Verdance has become very much Bullander-ish. But
it's not the only time we've
these
seen...
are not close.
No, yeah, but it's not the only time we've seen it feels like heroes reaching outside of their hero text. I think it wasn't until
Teklevasen,
100%. Florian. One that I came around to more recently. Go ahead.
I'll amend Teklevasen slightly because it does feel like they took Pistol Dash, like Fatigue Pistol Dash to the extreme.
Yeah. It's like they split
like
Dash
the absolute extreme.
They split
where
Dash
it's like,
into like 3 different directions.
Yes, well they did what they they did what they did with Briar in Rosetta. Is they took a combo version,
just ripped it right down the middle,
and made it max. They took an aggro version and made it Dio, and they took Fatigue Dash and made it Teklevasen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rosetta, for Runeblades, they took Crown of Seeds, Defensive Briar into Florian, and Lightning Briar into Aurora. So like you can track where these things are coming from, but like Dwarf Tribal Guardian is not a thing we've had.
So I feel like the words that I wanted to come. So I was having a slight problem with Guardian for a while before I switched to playing Assassin, and part of that was Victor is a ton of fun. That's not very Guardian-like.
Sure.
What Victor actually is, I think, in hindsight, is Brute.
Is he?
He's got randomness. He's got big attacks with Go again.
Sure. Okay, I see what you're like trying to say, but that doesn't seem like a Brute. The problem is he came out in the same set as KO.
True. 100% true.
And that was the first time we saw value from Brute. At least in the same... We saw a little bit with Levia, but like she's more Shadow, it feels like, than Brute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was like...
She is very much a Shadow Brute. She is a Brute, but she's very much a Shadow Brute.
Hints of it forever, but KO is like value deck.
Yes.
So, yeah.
To address what Clark is saying, I agree that Aura Guardian was 100% a deck you could build and present to your opponent. I don't think Lyeth, in the way that we have Lyeth with Minnowism and Nimbleism and Nimby, is a Guardian archetype. That is not a Guardian archetype. That was very much a belittle Nimby Briar build.
I think also we could bring Clark in here and talk about this if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab Clark.
Because I have a question.
Let's do that.
Clark's hanging out in case we had time to talk to a caller, which is perfect because he's in chat right now. So I'm going to just read what Clark said, or I guess Clark can answer for themselves. Because these are good things. I was going to read what Clark said in chat, but instead we brought Clark in to say exactly what they would like to say. Clark, I'm not going to ask what your name and where you're calling from is. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. It was very funny. Just before this, I was listening to Kevin starting to respond to me.
Yes.
And then I hear the little Discord budding. I just unmute, and it's like, are we fighting now? And Smurph is like, oh yeah, we're fighting now.
It's like you're listening to someone talk smack on TV, and then you hear the like bell ring of the door open in the building you're in, and see that person walk in and realize, oh shoot, they came to play. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go straight into what you were saying.
So I agree with you on Pleiades that we have had Aura Guardian as an archetype before that has been legal to present in Flesh and Blood.
The previous statement was, I disagree with what you're saying, Kevin. I think these play patterns have always existed in both classes, and now they're finally viable. The second half is a lot of these changes in how we play these a lot of these changes in how we play these heroes rather than how we build these heroes.
Sure. So, starting with Guardian, is that just Pleiades, or does that extend to Lyeth?
I think it extends to Lyeth slightly, but it does
Okay.
change a lot. I agree that Reviled as a talent appears to have the identity of anti-class. Like whenever you are Reviled
Yes.
X, the whole point is that your hero design is anti to the X. KO is
Yep.
about running things that are not sixes, which is counter to the very base of Brood as a concept. He still accomplishes a lot of what Broods are trying to do and their overarching game plan and their turn-by-turn value. For example, I love my one-card swing bigs because I set up a Vigor token from Booing and I have Findals up. That feels godlike and something that no other Brood is really able to do.
Vigor tokens in Brute were not meant to exist. See heavy hitters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quicken token and Guardian win?
Very much so.
Already
As for Lyeth, I still feel like
Agility.
Lyeth is doing the setup element of Guardian. It just looks different now, right? Like you're still
Okay.
playing around a turn, 2 turns out. You look at 2 steps ahead. You look at Leave Them Hanging. Those are 2 reviled Guardian cards. They're saying this is how Lyeth is meant to be played, and they're auras that give you value 2 turns later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, there's also this very Runeblade element of running these low-to-the-ground pumps with these low-to-the-ground attacks, which has never existed before. And you could probably do a turn where it's like Nimbleism, Minnowism, Nimbleism, Minnowism, Short Shrift. That's a hand that you could play. And
That's a really good turn.
And it feels very ninja-y in the way that you're like head jab,
Yes.
head jab, head jab, head jab, finisher.
Oh.
Sure.
I also see it with a Runeblade element where every single card that you're able to keep in your hand lets you extend your game plan more, which is a very Runeblade element. Viscerai can't do anything on 2 cards because Viscerai's whole thing is playing card after card after card after card.
And
it's multiplicative. So
if you're a Runeblade, you draw all attacks, you cry. And if you're Lyeth and you draw 5 attacks, you cry.
Yes, or 5 pumps.
So it's a thing of Ninja has always been more additive, while Runeblade has been more multiplicative.
Mm-hmm.
Is the way I've looked at it. Baseline, not blanket, but Runeblade benefits from having 2 attacks, 2 non-attacks, and that is a multiplicative increase from having 3 attacks and 1 non-attack. But context, yada, yada, yada. And that feels more Lyeth than, obviously, anything we've seen in Guardian, I think.
Yes. I think, but the design archetype of setting up for later turns is a Guardian archetype and is not something that we quite see as present in other classes. Not saying it's not there. I mean, Runeblade has Rune Chant stacking as a very clear secondary archetype.
Yep.
But I want to express that has always sort of been something that has been for Guardian, but has never been viable for Guardian.
Yes.
And I think that's what this set is actually trying to address and what this set is actually trying to change. They're trying to take these elements of Guardian and Brute design that was never viable before and actually try to make it more viable. And how do they do that? Well, they make it look like the classes that are actually good and get LL points.
Yep.
Runeblade is a very good design. The things that Runeblade does is very good at winning games of Flesh and Blood. So why not give elements of that to Guardian so that Guardian can, but do it in a way with Guardian flavor so that Guardian can start to earn some LL points.
So I
Similarly with Brute.
Yeah. So I think the interesting part is you and Kevin are talking about the exact same thing. But Kevin goes one step further, and he just gets mad at people on the internet because they are not entirely thinking in that perspective. They're like, yes, of course I'm playing Pleiades. I'm going to put the auras in my deck. I am going to attack with people. But I'm a Guardian, so I have all the armor. I start with that baseline of all the armor, and these blue 3 blocks in the deck. Like, I start with that, then I build the Pleiades deck. To which Kevin's saying, no. You're too Guardian pilled. You're starting on a bad foundation. You need to build the broken part of the deck first, then you add everything else in. And the broken part of Pleiades is not Buckler.
No. It's not Steelbraid Buckler. It is, you get to manipulate your suspense auras to your benefit, and you get to play the suspense auras better than anyone else.
Yeah, you get offensive overlap because your auras actually have go again.
Yes. God, yes. And they're not non-attacks. And they still block. Holy moly.
Well, I think they're instants because that's a necessary element to being able to control them efficiently, fun, and fair.
Yes. Them being instants rather than non-attacks with go again, like, does result in a lot of changes for the play patterns. Where I think there's going to be a lot of things that, if a Guardian player is trying to pick up the deck, there's a lot of play patterns they're not going to be familiar with. Or not going to think of.
True.
Yeah, I would love to see a dev touch on suspense. Because I would love to see if it actually started with non-attack action cards with go again.
I 100%
and I think
believe it started with a variable
it would be so much less
suspense
impactful.
X or whatever, right? Like, I think suspense. I don't know. I'm just thinking about the dev talk, and I'm like, suspense definitely started out at any number. So
I don't know if it started out as any number, but I think there were probably inconsistent amounts.
Yeah.
There were very few that were 1. Most of them were 2, and there might have been 1 or 2 at 3.
Yeah.
But 2 was probably the primary number, and they probably just condensed it.
For good reason.
If I had to guess, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
also, they could have had lower numbers with enter and leave. That was something we talked about on the Pitum episode.
Yes.
Where so it would be a smaller pump, but it would also happen when you first play it.
Is there a card that does that? Is there one card that does that? I think there is a card that does that, right?
Typically utility-based ones. I think Up on a Pedestal does that.
That's funny.
Is when this enters and leaves, you can put a Guardian attack action card from the graveyard on top of that.
That's what it was. That's the one I was thinking of.
But
I didn't look it up.
That
I was just hoping y'all would.
And Palm of Your Hand.
Yeah, and Palm of your hand.
Okay.
Is draw a card
the non-power ones. But
so Palm of Your Hand, Up on a Pedestal, and Superstar is cheers on enters or leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I think making them instants so that you have a little bit better control so that you can draw them in a hand and feel like, well, if I want that to go off on this very next turn, I can make that happen. I think it was smart arsenaling. There's like just so many benefits to them being an instant that I think LSS looked at and said, I think we have to make this an instant, but we also still have to let it block. Are we okay breaking that rule?
I think they made the correct choice in breaking that rule.
That's great, and I love it. I think
I am willing to wait 2 months before I agree with you.
That's fair.
No. It's great. It's great, and I love it. I
am glad they were willing to take the risk on breaking that rule.
Yeah,
it looks
I'll
more
put it
fun.
that way.
Yeah.
It looks a lot more fun.
Yes.
So I will say one of the points, I guess we kind of talked about it a little bit, but you were like, a lot of the changes in how we play these heroes rather than how we build these heroes. On that point specifically, I think it's more of the reason it might be play over build, but I think they're the same thing in this context. Is like maybe a better way to describe it is just mindset. Mindset going into this hero, you have to have this hero's mindset as opposed to this class's mindset. Which I don't think I'm disagreeing with anything you're saying when I say that, but like it's just as like a framing reference for people listening.
I think the best example of this is all the majority of people who tried to pick up Fang just built it as a Kasai deck.
To put yellows in?
Are you saying like before the Mara Ferris like 0 for 4 deck came out and then we found a happy middle ground?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mara was trying to build Draconic.
Yeah.
More Draconic than Fang. And the majority of Warrior players were trying to build more Kasai than Fang, which is just dual wield
turns
Warrior.
Out there's just a happy middle ground where Fang lives, and he's peachy.
They've both sides have migrated a bit towards this is Fang, who is Draconic Warrior, not just Draconic and not just Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way it's going to need to be for these new heroes. It's like this is something I've like long since like, or not long since, but like for a while now, I've thought where it's like you need to stop thinking of these as particular classes. These are individual heroes, and even if they have the access to the same class cards, they do not play the same. And you need to understand that you're building Fang and not Kasai. You need to understand that you're building Fang and not Dromai. You need to understand that you're building Pleiades and not Dash, but also Pleiades and not Aura Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
that's well put. I think it's hard when you look at the reviled and revered class cards to get an idea entirely of what unique thing about this. Like there's flavor reasons, and there's a couple of mechanics that like say that push you towards this is what revered looks like, this is what reviled looks like, but I feel like it's on the hero cards that really show you what revered and reviled looks like.
It's what tells you how much of that class you need.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Is the way I'm going to go with it.
It's like you read Goliath and you're like, oh, actually it's only like 20 to 30% Guardian and the rest is revered after you read the hero text or something like that.
Yeah. Whereas like Tough Knight, it's like, okay, I want primarily brute cards. I'm going to put the revered brute cards in because they're good, and some of the revered cards, but that's because they fit, not because they say revered. Whereas like Pleiades is like, I'm going to put whatever has suspense stuff in. It doesn't matter if it's Guardian. It happens to be Guardian because that's where they put suspense. But like revered also isn't that important, and Shears also isn't like wildly important on the turns you need it. It's like she ends up being more Guardian because that's where suspense is, and revered is like very secondary.
I think it's maybe also day one, and we're really looking at those
day
elements and the splashy things.
Day -8.
Yeah.
Day -7. I love this.
Yeah. But I do want to note that I think that there is a angle for more fatiguey elements of both Guardians, while they both have this very powerful and very new thing of being able to set up this powerful offensive overlap. There is some exceptionally powerful defensive tools. Escalate order, no hero stands alone, never give up. I mean, the disarm, disembody, disperse cycle itself, these are exceptionally powerful defensive tools. I mean, can you imagine, like, if KOAD is the meta-dominant brute that is going to tear through everybody in 2 weeks before LLing, and then, like, okay, brutes, you had your fun little moment. There, I worked in my initial hot take. But then in response to that, it's these revered heroes being able to stack toughness tokens so that they can block those setup turns.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how powerful that can be on with Tough Nut dominating the top tables of Super Slam Limited.
Yes.
I think
the early point, yes.
I think
when was CYB banned? That was May or July?
2025.
Yeah.
May? One of those. It was pre-High Seas or just very soon after High Seas.
It was before, because we never saw CYB Gravy.
Chat, when was CYB banned? We're not looking it up.
Because CYB is the obvious point for Lyeth being a fatigue deck.
Yes.
You just have 5 intellect and you play 3 CYBs on 2 blues.
Gross.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think
awesome, but gross.
But
There's also a lot of Guardian tools that actually let you pitch for defense and have generic
Yes.
prevention, which is quite strong into like a random wizard that you could run into, and is very powerful by you trading one defensive card for their one offensive card. That actually puts you ahead, or at least on even terms in fatigue runs.
I believe this is William's favorite card, Steadfast.
That card's is dope.
3 for
that card's dope.
3 for 6 prevention on any source. I believe it's target source.
Yeah.
Which in Wyatt against Arcane is probably very good.
Oh yeah.
When you're 5 intellect
and physical,
you don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Lyeth could end up being a very defensive deck, and like he has the hero ability to flex into it with Rampart.
There's also a 0 for 3, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's 0 for 3 prevention.
Yeah.
Rush off.
No, in Guardian. May 20th.
Guardian?
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a Guardian specific.
May 20th. Okay, so that was like 2.5 weeks before High Seas release, 2.5 weeks before US Nats this year. Yeah. But yeah.
Blessing of Serenity, by the way. That's the Guardian 0 for prevent the next time you would be dealt damage, physical damage, specifically this turn within 3 damage that source would deal.
It's just physical damage. That card came out in Everfest?
Crucible.
Yeah.
I knew it was an older set.
Yeah.
Older set. I said older set. I said a set that came out after I started playing Flesh and Blood. I'm old.
We're becoming the unks.
I've been an unk. I've been an unk since I was 12. Let's see. What was the other point I was going to say? Oh, when it comes to toughness tokens, the first toughness token is the best toughness token.
Yes.
Second and third and fourth are not as interesting. Fifth one's crazy.
Third one's pretty gas.
Sometimes. It's really just the first one. The first one's insane.
The first one is very good. The second one is less good. The third one is also probably very good.
Is it?
Also just because it turns on like disarm.
True. Who?
I need to remind myself of that.
That
is a cycle of cards where if it blocks for 6 or more, Mm-hmm. Oh, when this defends, if it has 6 or more block, the attacking hero puts a card from their hand on the bottom of their deck.
Yeah.
Is that all of them? No. So Aura they control and Arsenal. Yeah, those are all very good.
Playable.
So
I don't know.
in limited,
they're all really good.
The first is very good, and the third is especially good, especially since this entire set is designed around 6s, pretty much.
But in CC, the first is the best one.
Yes. And I would argue that the third and fourth are still very good, because you get to 6 and 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second is much less significant than those. But yeah. And toughness is weird, because your opponent gets to interact with it. And we saw this a bunch in Limited this weekend. So
yeah,
it can really do a lot to get you ahead in the mid-range battle because it's delayed. It's defensive overlap. This is something that Pitum talked about a ton with Counter Blessings, and somehow did not really break its way into the wider Fab world. But like toughness is another example of defensive overlap where you're stacking value to block.
Yeah,
and it's very, very good.
Kevin's favorite expression: offensive and defensive overlap.
Yeah, I'm adding that to my list. It's my hit list.
We're pulling the curtain back for a second. There are
am I not allowed to say it anymore?
There are some expressions of Flesh and Blood.
No, you're fine.
Kevin mauled, and one of them
absolutely so upset.
Offensive overlap. Oftentimes it's just
I hate it so
incorrectly,
much,
and that's the main reason.
Yeah,
like just fully incorrectly, and you're not. But I'm saying like in general, like when you hear that, it's
no, like I understand like entirely what you're saying of like for defense value for a later turn cycle, and that makes sense. And your opponent gets to interact with that. Whereas offensive overlap is just you drew 2 cards off 1 card. What?
Play to tome.
What?
I mean,
Yeah.
I would argue defensive overlap is not very interactive. Sometimes I've felt like it's less interactive than offensive overlap.
It discourages your opponent from taking action on that turn, or it can discourage, excuse me, your opponent from taking action on that turn, but your opponent gets the choice.
Yeah.
You don't get a choice when your opponent plays Art of War.
True.
They're playing Art of War. I think this limited set is well designed in that regard of your opponent does get a choice on how much damage they present, because you have the dig in, the revered defensive overlap card of when this defends, you may pay up to 3, create that many toughness tokens. But then you have the counterpart of bask in your own greatness of when this attacks, you may pay up to 3, you make that many might tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, you get an actual back and forth in that regard. Art of War, there's no back and forth. You played Art of War.
Yeah. You played the good card. It did the good card thing.
I mean, you can run nice, good, generic disruption. Weakest link, pummel.
That's not... that's not the same. That
Sure.
that does not fit the same category in my mind of, oh, they have 3 toughness tokens, I'm going to attack with a different attack.
Yeah. I want to note that, like, I do believe that offensive overlap, as it used to be with Art of War having a free card to banish from hand, was definitely way too high. All the tomes
especially
way too high. And I also think CYB provided too much defensive overlap by having so much life gain that's like, it doesn't matter what you do offensively, because I'm just going to find a turn cycle where I heal it all back, and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Both of those are equally unfun, interactive, big number, no fun, good. No good. Toughness tokens.
The most fun.
Yes.
Yeah, toughness tokens, a much more balanced place for that to be. This might stacking and suspense aura stacking, much healthier place for all of this to be.
Mostly.
Yeah, well, again, jury will be out. Final stamp of approval gonna be out on these suspense auras. Let's see if Pleiades throwing Spinal for 20 is with evasion is going to be healthy for the game long term.
It will. It should be. Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
I think it might be. I think it's bad even. Is there anything
not
else?
The best right now.
Is there anything else we wanted to talk about when it came to the subject?
The subject? I'd argue that Tough Nut is more brute than Kevin was initially leading on. Like, I think the fatigue Tough Nut makes a lot of sense in limited, but actually in CC, I don't think you can play that kind of like block with everything you can throw Romping Club. Congratulations, you're doing mid range. I think you have to have some go again and some actual damage conversion to play the game. And I think that
might just not be a deck in CC.
Might just not be a deck in CC. Apparently great in Project Blue. Love hearing that.
Yeah.
Project Blue. I need to hear
could
more
see
about
that.
It.
I'm curious what weapons Tough Nut ends up landing on, because I think that determines a lot by itself, kind of. As well as, like, I think Jaws of Victory obviously goes in the deck, not obviously, but it's like the easy put in the deck for Go Again. I'm curious how much Go Again he runs beyond that.
Yes. I think he has to have some, at least in inventory.
Yes.
You need to be able to put pressure on your opponent. You can't just be throwing one card a turn.
It's also like toughness.
Yes, at a competitive level, yes.
This was the other thing I was going to bring up. Toughness is not universal in the same way most of the defensive things in Flesh and Blood are not universal, right? It doesn't work against Kano. Right? Like,
yeah, it doesn't do anything.
That whole line on your hero text does nothing.
Nope.
Like,
oh yeah, Tough Nut gets cooked by wizards. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, brutes traditionally have a lot of AB, but that does not mean he's gonna be good.
Skullhorn, our beloved.
Sure.
Our savior.
Rock's pretty good into angels. Is Rock a rock? What's Rock's class? It's not a club, right? There's no.
I think it is a rock type.
Yeah, it's not a club. There's no way it's a club.
It's literally a rock type.
Brute weapon rock.
How is Pallades,
brute weapon rock, 2-handed.
How is Pallades hammer axe not also a rock?
That would be the genre, not the type.
Oh,
They didn't have that
you're
much
right.
room at the bottom.
You're right.
They would have had to do like the Evo thing where they just like
Yeah.
add an extra centimeter.
Because
Evo
It
action.
could be metal. It doesn't have to be rock.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
It also could be metal. You're right.
K-pop. You're right.
Oh, she's playing pop.
She's not pop. There's no. I understand the Taylor Swift memes.
No.
She's not. No.
She's
It's not Taylor
100%
Swift. It's
playing
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne. I was thinking Paramore, right? Like,
Oh, it could be Paramore.
yeah, right.
I also
I forgot her name.
subscribe to Ziggy Stardust.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ronks?
That comes from
That's
a
also-
Guardian local, Marcus Brown.
People have been saying Ronks. I think that's funny.
No.
Yes. Ronks go up.
No. No.
All right. I think.
Please no.
I think we've talked this out if that's right.
Yep.
Anything else?
Oh yeah.
Do you have anything? You want to shout out, Mr. Clark?
Shout out Marina.
Heck yeah. That was a great take and a lot of energy, and we really loved having her on. Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next week.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Kevin, you have anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'm good for tonight.
Guardian players hate their class. Since I think that wraps it up, remember to go check out our merch at the tablepit-shop.fourthwall.com, where you can get shirts that say things like
Spectre will continue until morale improves.
That's
as seen at the world premiere.
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, it was at the world premiere. Oh, that's so sick. I love that so much. All right,
that shirt is so good.
The link will be in the description, not for the video part of this, not necessarily the stream.
Here's a Tough Nut all blue deck.
Oh no!
So creative.
Guardian
so
and
daring.
Brutes hate their class. I hated it so much I left.
And you right.
And if you want to help us make this stream look nicer and help us get supplies for our project, for my project videos, you can support us at patreon.com/tablepit. I'm trying to build a cube. Currently, the cube has 7 fables in it. Probably not actually going to get all of them, but you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't own 7 fables.
No, I don't own 7 fables. Though I did have Wyatt look through the deck, or through the cube, and he was like, yeah, I could put this together. He's got all the cards.
A couple
for the
people.
Cube.
Wait.
Really?
How many people did you see with that shirt?
Was it more than one? That's crazy.
Was it more than just Jesse Harper?
Because I know Jesse Harper had it.
We did see that.
Yeah.
I sent a picture of that to Josh Scott, who is the person who originated the quote. I will give full credit.
Did we put that in one of these text channels that we have?
I don't think we did.
Should I just make a text channel just for merch, or should we put that under the design table or something? We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But Kevin, you got any shout outs?
I think I'm good
What's your next video?
at the moment. I've been meaning to record one. It's been getting put off because Prism weird at the moment.
Sure.
But,
true. Yeah.
No, nothing since spoiler video, and it might be a little quiet for a bit.
Sure. That's fine.
Yep.
I think I saw more than one. I remember seeing it a couple of times over the weekend. Can't remember if it was the same person every day. It could have been, but
I don't think it would have been.
That's kind of sick though.
I trust Jesse to change shirts
and
between
maybe
days.
He got the super deluxe suite, and it came with a washing machine. He washed his clothes every single night because he's a clean little boy. Thank you all so much for watching. We do this every Thursday. We also have No Blocks, which is a Chill Talishar live stream. Not this weekend because I'm going to a wedding. And we have the Design Table, a chill fab-themed art show, which when we remember to actually do the show, we will do it, which not this weekend. Going to a wedding. So, we do this every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Is that it? Am I missing anything else?
No, I think you're good.
Everyone buy a shirt. Buy